Good morning, Charles. How you doing, my friend, on
All
this
right. Yep.
disappointing Saturday for the U.S. men's soccer team?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Three mistakes, and they made us pay for those three mistakes. They made some mistakes, and unfortunately, we didn't make them pay. And that's the name of the game, right? You got to capitalize when the opportunities present themselves. And speaking of opportunities, what do you think of this Delmar card? You're on mute. You muted yourself somehow.
There we go. It's a very good card. I really like the bookends part of it. The first race and the last race for hitting some tries, and I think it's overall. You can probably find some prices, even if you have a chalk horse. You can hook them up with some price horses, I think.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that the first race and the last race are races that look good for trifectas, and strangely enough, that's our box it ups. That's your box it up in race number 1. That's my box it up in race number 9, and that's where we put together 4 horses in an exacta box, trifecta box, superfecta box, and hopefully we can cash a winner on that one. But before we get to that, Charles, I got to do something here real quick. Forgive me. I am almost prepared. I should have been prepared. Now I'm prepared. All right. So you ready for race number 1 at Delmar? All right. This is your stomping grounds. So race 1 at Delmar. This race is a mile on the turf. So a nice little race to get started off on the day. A mile on the turf at Delmar. The bias has been fair. 50% winners from the front, 50% stalkers and closers. Although there is a major inside to outside bias, meaning the horses that are on the inside 3 tend to do pretty well. And our way to the winner's circle worksheet, we see, we'll do our mental gymnastics today here, with the E-horse being one that is typically one that needs the lead to get the win. The EPs can pilot or co-pilot, so they can be on the lead or run second or third, usually within 2 lengths of the leader. Pressure horses are almost always co-pilots when they win, within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. The PC types are the pressure horses, but they also have characteristics of closers, who are usually more than 2 lengths behind the leader at the opening quarter mile. No scratches yet, but at this race we see it is predominantly lopsided towards the closers in this maiden race. A couple of first-time starters in here, and one horse that just 6 horses never, ever really been close. So I'm sure that's the one you're leading off with in your box it up, Charles.
Let me think about that. No. Yeah, this is a very good race. I think you're definitely going to get a price in here. My first choice is the 11. This horse ran 3rd last time out. This horse is definitely bred for the grass. Wong gets 20% over the whole year. Matter of fact, Wong is now going to set up his main barn in Kentucky. So he'll be basically leaving California after
it's coming out by you.
That's it.
Yes,
he
indeed.
Got smart. Got out of that out of California there.
Yes, indeed.
And then actually, you're probably who's going to be your favorite is my second choice, which is the 1. But a 5-2 favorite, that shows you how wide open I think this is. It drops in class here today. Well bet in the last time out. The rail does get 30%, so that does help him out a lot there. Mm-hmm. And my third choice here, another price horse, the 9, ran 2nd last time out. McCarthy gets 17%. He's a really good trainer out there, and he was well bet last time out. And then another price horse, which a lot of people might be sleep on this horse, maybe. Solid works on this horse. Hot jockey last 7 days, which is Hernandez. Juan Hernandez does a really good job. And you got Grand Motion as the 18% trainer. Mm-hmm. And Motion on turf, you got to watch out for all the time.
Yes, indeed. So that's your box it up in race number 1. Again, 50-cent trifecta box, $1 exacta box, 10-cent superfecta box, a race that we both think should favor some prices, and I have some different horses than you. Number 4, Candy Caramel consistently performs at a level I think can win here. Number 1, Bolt Broad, your second choice. We agree on that one. The rail is just killing it at the distance, winning at 30%. This horse has already won, but got disqualified and running competitively in some stakes races since. So I think this one might be the one that wins. I didn't sleep on the 12 here, Charles, at all. Ancient Peace, leading jockey Juan Hernandez, winning at 30%. Gets off the 5 horse, who I also think has a chance to win this race. To ride the first-time starters, got to be some inside information there, I feel like, Charles. Number 5 is the final choice for me. That is a horse that is a lone P horse that does have an early pace advantage through the first half a mile. And if this one can get the easy lead versus a race full of closers, it could be very difficult to catch him if the fractions are right. Race 2, Charles, at the Surf Meets the Turf course is 1 mile and a 16th. A maiden claiming $20,000. So they're getting off with some difficult races here. In terms of the, maybe not difficult, but we got some stakes races coming up. So the quality is going to build. 1 mile and a 16th, the bias does favor horses that have early speed, particularly those who run from posts 4 through 7. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet, we do see some horses here that are dropping in class, going up in class. So you got the 1 horse dropping in class, boxed off, meaning the 1 and the 3 do have some of the most early speed in this race. So those 2 should be in contention when the gates open. On the way home, keep an eye out on the 2 horse and the 5 horses, the ones that do have the most late energy. Tell us about your thoughts for race number 2.
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more to go off of in these races, but I'm going with the 6 in this race. This horse drops in class today. Trainer gets 50% when he drops him down 2 classes. So I don't care who you are. That's an excellent, excellent angle. And this horse has that tactical more on the closing side of speed. So I see this horse coming in at the end and catching my second choice, which is the 3. Ran second last time out. This is the second time after a layoff. And he gets Pratt. So you can't turn your head on this horse at all. And the 2 is my third choice here. This horse drops today, cuts back in distance. This is his 3rd time after a layoff, which is my favorite angle. And so you got to throw him in there for, especially for the exotics. And then my final choice here is the 7. This horse has that tactical speed. He could probably sit a little bit closer to the front. He'll have more closing a little bit at the end. Trainer gets 21%. Fits with these type of horses.
Number 2, Budokan. Live from Budokan. Cheap Trick, right? Ran a lot faster fractions last out, and it upped its speed figure 4 consecutive races in a row. So looking to make 5 race improvements in a row. Pittsburgh, that's an easy name for a horse. Ran the best career race last time out, tied for the top last race speed figure. And that was the first race off the bench. I'm a bit concerned you might regress here because the only other 2 times the horse had a second start regressed in both of them. Number 7 is my third choice in here. Enes Parado. One of the best races was coming off of a layoff when he came back to work at Del Mar. So we're looking to repeat that here today. And then your first choice, my 4th choice, Big Brother, was a tough call for me between this and the 1 horse. The 6 horse does consistently run better than Leuch Ayalusos. I think that's, plus I didn't want to have to pronounce that more than once. All right, race number 3 at Del Mar. Today is 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Optional claiming $80,000. The purse is only $74,000. The sort of horse that typically wins at 1 mile and a 16th on the California grass over there has tactical speed, particularly wearing a red 1, a white 2 or black 2, and a blue and white 3. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet. The pace sheet says in race number 3, pretty balanced race. Most of the horses want to be in the back, with the 10 horse having the most late punch. Get a left arrow horse in here today, the 8 horse, which is a pressure closer type, but it's normal gait out of the gates. Says this horse should be close to the front, challenging the 4 horse most likely. The 7 might be a part of the mix, though. His early pace figures don't put him on the lead, but close to the lead. Who do you have at the lead at the wire?
Well, this is my long shot pick of the day, and I really like this horse a lot for this type of price. The 8 horse, The 8 horse is
You don't want to show up. I don't know if that's a good omen or a bad omen.
oh yeah, it's a good open, I guess. No, we're gonna go with the good. Anyway, the 8 horse here has won his last time out, has that tactical, but more on the closing side of speed. Likes this distance, excuse me. Grand Motion is the trainer here. Here it is on turf again. Everything screams this horse, and you're going to get a decent price. I think right now it's going off at 6-1. So that's a nice little price for this type of horse. My second choice there is the 5 horse. This horse ran second last time out. Has that tactical speed. This gets a Pratt, and this is a Pratt Drysdale combo. Drysdale is an old timer that knows how to get horses ready, especially for the turf.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows what he's doing there. And then the 1 horse is my third choice. Drops in class, hot jockey the last 7 days. And this horse definitely should be closing at the end. I see that horse flying it, but I don't think he's going to catch for sure the top 2. And then the 2 horse is my fourth choice. One last time out. This horse is 4 for 4 in the money this year. So you can't knock that horse at all. And he got a hot jockey the last 7 days.
All right. In race number 3, I'm going to start off with that 5 horse. Eversmart is the lone P horse and going to get a jockey upgrade today to Flavian Pratt. Number 7, the second choice in race number 3 at Dunmore. Macadamia drops in from a $100,000 non-graded stakes race and has a shot to be the horse that's on the lead. Number 1, Thump's Dream is the third choice in race number 3. Drops from a grade 1 and has some good workouts getting ready to return to the track after a short rest. And then finally, number 2, Buzz of New York. Likes that Del Mar track, particularly finishing second. 5 races, 1 win, 3 seconds, and a third. My quick math says 100% in the money. And looking at the past performances, the CV says that this horse is likely to improve in the second start after a layoff. Off to race number 4, Charles. We find they're going to run 6 furlongs, another maiden race. So the third and fourth, 4 races to start the card here. Maiden $70,000 for a purse of 70 grand. 6 furlong winners at Del Mar typically have some early speed, particularly outside in. There is a pretty significant penalty if you wear a 1, 2, or 3. And of course, I'm going to try to beat that in just a second. This one is your best bet, Charles. We take a look at how this race lays out in race number 4 up here. You see that there aren't any horses that really have shown in history to getting towards the front. So you have in terms of the early speed, it looks like another one of these left arrow horses might have the most early pace. If not it, the 4 horse got a first time starter with the 5. This, Charles, is your best bet of the day. Tell us who it is and why.
Well, it's your left arrow horse,
Yes.
the 1. Why I really like this horse a lot today is, like you just finished saying, he could actually probably take the lead in this race. If he doesn't, he'll probably be sitting right on the 3s side there. This horse ran second last time out. You have a hot trainer the last 14 days. You got some solid works going into this race. I just think he's an easy winner here.
No, you jinxed us. Thank you.
Oh, no.
I can never use those easy lock, those type of things.
Oh, it's easy winner.
Probable winner.
I'll say it again.
Oh, Lord.
And then the other speed horse, the 3, I have finishing second here. This horse ran third last time out. They're taking the blinkers off, so that means they want to settle him down a little bit. You got Wong at 20%, but he gets 28% when he takes the blinkers off. So he'll keep that horse a little honest today. And then the 4 horse is my third choice. Horse has some tactical speed, but more on the closing part. Gets Pratt. Steve Knapp gets 15% when they're 90+ days off. So you got a fresh horse here. I just don't know if he's up to par to run with that 1. Mm-hmm. And then the 5. Definitely bred to sprint, solid works. You got Glatt and Hernandez combo, which is a good combo out there. So that's how I see it.
All right. So that's your best bet, the one horse, calling it an easy winner, putting the double jinx on both of us because I have the one horse in there too, despite the big time inside penalty. There is that left arrow horse. Not only should it be close to the front, but it also has some of the most late pace, if not the most late pace in this race. Should run a very complete race from go to photo. Number 4 is a bold choice. Nice bullet workout on November the 25th. And a horse that does have a penchant for finishing second at the distance 5 times, with 3 of those ending up in second place. Number 5, Whimsical Air. First timer with some good workouts in here, so maybe this horse can be a factor. Number 3, Charles, a little bit crazy. This can be us at sometimes. Just looking at the 3 compared to the 2, it doesn't look close to me at all in a 5-horse field. So that's why you have to give the 3 the nod over Tap It Rocks. That doesn't even look like it's competitive. So I just made the 2-horse the winner because it's the one neither one of us has, and I downgraded him while you went ahead and locked the easy winner with the 1 horse. All right. Race number 5 is a 5-furlong turf race. It is the Stormy Liberal Stakes. 5 furlongs for $100,000. The profile of a 5-furlong grass winner at Del Mar. Early speed and to the outside, surprisingly. If we take a look at, let's look at the race shape for this one here, Charles. We see a lot of speed, which you can probably expect in a race that's only 5 furlongs. A lot of horses kind of evenly laid out. You see that there's 4 across the board for E, EPPs, and PCs, with the 6-horse being the lone closer. And if it goes too fast, he does have the most late pace to run by these guys at the end. The 8 and the 5 of those horses with early speed have a touch more speed than the rest. I think this one is a pretty competitive spot for a nice stakes race with a 10-horse field that's going to be over in a blink. When you're done blinking, Charles, who's going to collect the winner's check?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of nice horses in this race. I'm leaning towards the lone closer. I'll take the 6. One last time out, drops in class today. You got the Bravo Glatt combo. Bravo has been doing excellent in California. Mm-hmm. And like I said, he's got that.
Is there a more American name than Joe Bravo? I mean,
no kidding.
I mean, if you're gonna have like one of these names for one of these like Marvel like action hero people movies, shouldn't Joe Bravo be like Captain America's number 1A, like the entry?
Yeah, and then probably a real close call would be Charles Trent. Anyway,
yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably. Okay, and then
that would be like the villain.
My second choice is in this race is the 7. This horse definitely has speed. He cuts back today in distance. You got the hot jockey the last 7 days on him. Then my third choice in this race is the 9. This is another horse that drops today. Hot trainer in the last 14 days. And it has that tactical speed that he could go to the front, sit right off the side. But and then the final choice here is good old Mike Smith and Mandela combo. The 2-horse, which won last time out. You can never throw these type of horses out of your exactas and stuff, especially with Smith and Mandela on the other end of the horse.
Mandela. So looking at Terry likes that Mandela Smith for a daily double in race number 5 and number 6. If you got some picks out there, don't just complain when we get them wrong. Hell, if you have some ideas and you think they're going to win today, share them with us as a community. If you're out here making picks every day, obviously some days are going to be good. Some days might not be good. Some days might be in between. But like Terry, if you have some thoughts like Charles and I, share them with us. Let us know what you like. It's a community. I wish we had a monopoly on getting the picks correct from first to second to third to fourth in every race. But if we had that, guess what? Every one of those horses would go off in perfect order in terms of odds. All right, Charles, for me in race number 5, I like the 2-horse. I'm in agreement with Terry. Lane Way, been really close to winning 6 in a row and 9 of its last 10 races. Might not win, but sure as hell going to put in a pretty good effort. Number 9, my second choice in here, Cooled Heart. This one's down in class after trying to take them in G2s and G3s the last time out. Take some time off since those graded races and been in the barn. Tends to run well off the bench. Number 8, Hot Box. This one could be the pace setter in a race where speed probably matters. With everybody having similar early pace numbers, I always like to focus on the speed of the speed. That might be this guy who at Del Mar has run 3 times on the grass, won 2 of those, and he's run these short sprints 4 times and won 3 of them. Likes the distance, likes to run fast, likes the grass. Let's see if he can get it going. And then finally, number 7, Turn On the Jets. Should you just that? And I think the cut in distance from, I think we were at 6.5 furlongs last time out. It's going to be beneficial to Turn On the Jets in this deep field. The end of race number 5 is also the end of our early pick 4, which is the hot dog pick 4 in this case, Charles. And man alive, look what's at the bottom once again, baby. Almost got there last time, but I just missed in that last leg. Well, hell, what can you do?
Yeah.
Second to last leg. So you're going to go 3-6. I'm going 2-3. I only got 3. So I'm going to go 2-3-1 and then all. So I'm hoping to make it to the last leg there, Charles. If I do, I'm a guaranteed winner. What about you?
I'm not a guaranteed winner, but I think, I might pick up something you might not have in that race 3.
Maybe it's probably, or even in race number 2. I don't have the 6, but then again, you don't
okay.
have the 2. So maybe that one of those 2 horses will come home and the other guy will feel like the U.S. sad at a disappointing event for the day.
Yes.
All right, Charles, race number 6 is next on the docket for us at Del Mar. And for race number 6, we're going to find horses that want to run 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming $50,000. The purse here is only $45,000. The way to the winner's circle at 6.5 furlongs is a horse that has a big time inside 3 early speed bias. So you better have a horse that's on the inside. You better have one that's fast. Looking at race number 6, we find one that fits that bill. The horse with some of the most early speed is on that rail. It's the 1 horse, if not it, the 3 horse. The 5 horse could also contend from a pressure position. I like the 6 horse in here having a little bit of versatility. It's a pressure closer type. These guys go too fast up here, which could be the case. That late pace, extra late pace should give it a late run advantage. Does have the most complete package with the top early pace, late pace combination. Charles, who's the most complete package in your world?
The horse that you just finished up with, which will be the 6. I think that horse is going to be in the perfect spot throughout the whole race, sitting 3rd, possibly 4th, and then just kick it in at the end and take over. This horse was claimed last time out, won last time out. He has speed to keep up with them, and he has the speed to finish. The 5 horse here is my second choice. Ran second last time out. He's off the turf today, and he has the speed to go on with it if he has to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 horse, he did run 4th last time out, but it was a close 4th. Has that tactical speed. They're adding the blinkers today. This is the second time after a layoff, so this horse should be getting ready to knock on the doors good. And then the final horse is the 1. He ran second last time out. He has some speed to keep up with them, and he fits well with these type of horses.
All right. Sounds like a good 4 to me. I like the 1 horse where you leave off. I start off. That inside bias there with the early speed could be a very dangerous combination for Flame Rider. Number 6, your first choice. My second choice is Army Star. This guy comes in all the way from Kentucky by you, so making the reverse trip of Jonathan Wong. Did run the top last race speed figure last time out in Lexington. Lone PC horse in here with that top late pace edge. Probably sits right behind all that wall of early speed and then tries to run by him at the end. Bring that Kentucky form with him. Number 2, Let Him Do. Ran some of the faster fractions last out. And the resume says that this one's likely to be even better in the second start after a layoff. And then finally, number 5. So we get the same 4 horses, just a slightly different order. Mr. Beams. I think this one's probably going to be that pressure position. Probably it in the 6 will sit right off the first 2 or 3 on the lead and then try to run by the horses at the end. I just think the 6 has a little bit more kick if that's the strategy for both. Race 7, Charles, we find ourselves going to run another stakes race here. This is 1 mile on the turf. The Jimmy Durante Stakes. It's a grade 3. The is for $100,000. Again, 1 mile on the turf. Just a quick review of what it takes to get home first. There's really not a speed bias. 50% win from the front, 50% come from the middle or the back. But there is a bias to the inside. If we take a look at how these horses might line up and the kind of trip that they want in order to make it to the winner's circle in race number 7, we see there's a good quartet of horses that want to be on the lead. The 1 and the 4 look like they might have some of the most early punch. They'll be joined by the 12 horse over here who just graduated from the maiden. So a big step up over there. This is an interesting, dangerous position for a horse too, in terms of if a price horse, that 5 horse being the lone PC. This race to me, Charles, is pretty wide open. I made it my long shot. What do you got?
Yeah, there was at one point I thought there was one horse that they had to beat, and then when I really got into it deeper, I'm like, he still could be beat. So I'm leaning right now with the 11 here. This horse has got that tactical, more or less on the closing side of speed. You got Pratt and Brown combo. This horse cuts back in distance. Excuse me. One last time out. He's been well bet last time out, so I see this horse being like right there at the end. The 9 horse is another interesting horse here. Ran second last time out. Got a hot trainer last 14 days.
On fire.
Yeah, and then this is second time after a layoff race. So, you're getting right there where it's ready to rock and roll. And that one, you said it was a PC horse.
No, the 5 horse. Yeah, those can be dangerous, man. Those
this
lone
horse
PCs.
is very dangerous. Especially Pete Miller is the trainer, so you got to look out for that. Ran third last time out. He has the speed to do some damage any way you want to look at it, and he's going longer today. Pete Miller knows how he's going to run this race, and he's going to be a dangerous horse to look out for. And then the final horse here is the 2. Won last 2 times out. McCarthy gets 24%. And this horse fits with all these horses.
Yeah, I think this is a candidate for a box it up too. But since it was my long shot, I didn't box it up. But I think there's a lot of horses that can win this race. Another really tough one on the card. I'm going to start with my best bet being the 9. The best is yet to be. Well, let's see if he can be the best today. If it repeats its last race, it can get it done here. And the one concern for me is that Flavien Prat gets off this horse, though, to ride the different one in here, the 11 horse, which is going to be my 3rd choice. But number 2 is my 2nd choice. Quickly Park It. This horse has been undefeated in 2 since moving to the turf. Both were at the distance, 1 mile, and one of which was at Del Mar. And it seems to know where that finish line is, too, because if you look, it just gets up at the end. So it has a good idea. The 11 horse here is a shipper in for Chad Brown. It's the one Flavien Prat gets off the 9 to get on this one. But I wonder if that's really more of a business decision than it is a handicapping decision for Flavien, since Flavien is now stationed out on the East Coast. So I'm not quite sure that he's getting off the 9 to ride the 11 because he thinks it's the better horse. He's just riding for the trainer he wants more mounts for when he goes back out in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
And number 10 is my final choice, Sell the Dream. It was a hard call for me over that 12 horse, but I'm not going to take a maiden special weight riser, maiden claiming riser in the first time around in a stakes race. It's just too big of a jump, I think, for the 12 horse. Probably just put it in the winner's circle. But this 10 horse has been facing far stiffer competition than the 12. Race 8, Charles, as we wind down to the final 2 at Del Mar today. It's optional claiming $40,000. The purse here is $72,000. They're going to run 1 mile on the dirt track, and horses that have early speed at 1 mile, particularly post 4 through 7, tend to do the best. The last 2 times, we're going to look to see how the race shapes up here. You got a lone E, Charles. Everybody's looking for lone speed in race number 8. Well, guess what? You got some with the 4 horse being out on the front. If he gets to the front, he tends to get really courageous. Probably going to be challenged by that 5 horse, 2 horse. Ooh, really dangerous look here. Pressure horse sits right off the lead, especially if they run modest fractions, and has a plus late pace advantage. So you got 3 horses that want to be towards the front. The other 6 probably closer to the back. So I think in this case, it could favor the ones that get to the front. What do you say?
Yeah, I have at least two of those in my picks here, and I'm going with the two as my first choice. This horse ran second last time out. Hot jockey last 7 days, and this horse is 8 for 10 this year. So he's been doing very, very well. And like you said, I think he's going to be sitting right there, second or third, depending who actually takes the lead. And I think the 5 is definitely going to be one of them up there challenging for the lead. This horse ran second last time out. Here we go, Smith, old timer, staying on. This horse is
Old-timer.
3 for 4. Oh
Old
yeah,
but good still, man.
yeah. Well, he's getting up there, and he has to pick and choose his races now.
Yes. He's about half as old as you are, right?
Almost. And he's 3 for 4 in the money. So this horse is definitely one to watch out for. And then I'm going with some closers. The 7, Pete Miller gets 18%, but overall, this horse should be closing at the end. So look out for this horse. And then the 8 horse, one last time out, has some of that tactical speed, but more on the closing side of it. Hot trainer in the last 14 days. So I think this horse will be coming in for the exotics.
All right, Charles. Good picks there. My best bet of the day is going to be in this race here. You don't even have it, so I think that's a super duper plus for me. That's the 4 horse Spirit of Makina.
You're not going to say easy winner here?
I would never dare challenge the horse racing titans,
Okay.
the guardians of the horse racing galaxy. Spirit of Makina is that lone e-horse on the front, does have that early pace, should put him forwardly placed when the gates open, could do so by galloping along without really pressing the speed. And what I really like in here is in that last race, this horse showed almost brilliant late pace. So if he can get off to an easy lead and have that almost brilliant late pace, you can't pass what you can't catch. Number 5 is my second choice in race number 8 at Del Mar. Traeger, steadily improving horse with 4 consecutive speed figure increases in its last 4 races. Of course, making it try to make it 5 today. Number 2, Street Ruckus, third choice. Better fractions in that last race. And if you look at the race internals, the early pace, the mid pace, and late pace, and compare them to the prior start, improved across the board, almost always a sign of a horse that's coming into form. And then finally, number 8, Atomic Drop. The trainer Philip D'Amato, been probably the hottest barn so far at Del Mar. Now, come on, you always bet him on the turf, but when he's winning at 38% so far at Del Mar, you have to bet him no matter where he's at. That's a pretty good start. I'm sure as a trainer, Charles, you would be happy to get off to a 38% start. Makes the rest of the meet a little less pressure filled.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you could probably sleep at night a lot better.
Yeah, in the day too, right? All right, race number 9. We're closing out the show with another stakes race. This is 1 1/8 on the turf. It is the Hollywood Derby. It's a grade 1 affair for $400,000. It's going to be my box it up, Charles. Another race that I think is just completely wide open. So far, they've only run 2 at the distance. So really not much you can say in terms of track bias. Looking at this race, though, a lot of these horses, when you look at the early, the mid, and the late, and you add the numbers up, they all almost register the same. One horse in here that maybe does something is the 9 horse, another left arrow horse, typically a closer, whose early pace figures say it should move closer to the front, which I think could be beneficial in a race that's predominantly dominated by pressure and closer types. I think if you get towards the front, you could have a little bit of a tactical advantage. Charles, when they're all said and done, who's going to win the nightcap?
Well, if I could, like I said at the beginning of the show, the bookends for the exotics. So if I could have chose a second long shot, this would have been the race for a second long shot. And it was the 8 horse. I really like this horse on top. The others, this horse is third last time out. This horse is 6 for 6 this year in the money.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Ellis is 24%. And then guess what? The old timer stays on this horse.
You're not alone there because Mr. Terry also likes the long shot over here. Jared finally got a bet right, taking Netherlands. Hopefully he gets some bets right tomorrow because he and I agree on the NFL stuff. So if you haven't seen that show, you can find that over at Horse Racing Radar TV. Check that out while you're here. Myself, Jared, and Sean, man, last week was supposed to be Thanksgiving. It was more like Jason and Halloween because we took a bloodbath. And hopefully we can respond back this week. We're off to a good start, though, but the Bills hooked us up against New England. All right, sorry to interrupt you.
All right. Okay, so my second pick here is the 9. This horse ran second last time out. You got Pratt and Todd combo. I don't think I need to say much more on this horse. This horse has got that tactical speed to do damage any way he wants to do. And then the 11 horse is my third choice. Ran fourth last time, but only got beat by a length and a quarter. He lacked room in the stretch, and I actually watched that video, and he did. He lacked a lot of room. So who knows what he could have really done in that race. You got a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days, so look out for this horse. And then my final choice in this race, Del Mar, today on Saturday, won the last time out. This horse will be closing at the end, third after a layoff. So another price horse, like I said, to finish up the bookends for the exotics with probably my second best long shot of the day.
All right. So this is my box it up. What in the hell did I do here? All right. So I didn't put my numbers in here. I don't know what I was thinking today. So let's just do it on the fly. That's the great thing about Google Sheets. We can do it like this. So number 1, Cabo Spirit is my first pick in the last race. If you look at Cabo Spirit, it did show some spectacular late pace in its last start. And its resume says expect more in the second start off a layoff. War at Sea is my second choice in the box it up here. This guy is going to be rolling late, hopefully makes a genius out of Terry, Charles, and myself, as it's a long shot that we all like. Number 9, Wit is the third selection for me. It is my left arrow horse in here. Does have the top last race speed figure. Another one that's shipping in from Keeneland today, looking to take that top last race speed figure form to the California track. It's another horse, too, that I think is going to have more to say in its second start after a layoff. And then finally, Handy Dandy, fourth choice, last pick of the Del Mar card for me. It is a horse at Del Mar that's run 5 times, 3 wins, and 2 seconds on the grass. You can't beat that record. And this one is your classic handicapping angle, Charles III, after a layoff. If you rewind the past performances, you'll see in the other 3 race cycles this horse has had, the third has typically been the best of the 3. Along with the box it ups, it is the prime rib pick for Charles. And I'm going to go 4x4 by 3x4. You're going to go all in that first leg and then try to go 3x3x3 in some deep and very competitive races. Take us through your thinking.
Well, I thought that 6th race was so kind of wide open, and I think there's only 6 horses in there, but just hit the all button, get out of that one. And then, like I said, then after that, the 7th, 8th, I think for the 7th, I like my top 3 picks. And the 9th, I like my top 3 picks. The 8th, well, I could have probably got a little deeper, but that's where I'm staying.
All right. So I felt like the 8th race in the cycle was the most formful, at least I hope it will be when they get there. That is also my best bet with the 4 horse being that lone speed. So see if that carries through today. Today also, big races at Aqueduct, the Cigar Mile. Also free track today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet is Terry's stomping grounds, Golden Gate Field. So if you're going to bet Golden Gate or you want to get our wagering guide over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, 4 pages, really in-depth analysis of the 4 stakes races there. You can catch that over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description down below. Make sure you click on that. You can also find a link to the picks by the professor today, a huge day in college football. He'll have you covered on who's going to win all these championship games. So there's a link to the professor down there as well. All right, Charles, one final trip through all of our picks today at California's Del Mar. I haven't been there yet. It's a track I want to go see. So I'll be out that way one day, Terry. We'll go check that track out together. as you can see, Charles and I are going to, and he mentioned right at the top of the show that he felt like the first race and the last race were the best box it up candidates. And of course, that's where we went. We both agreed. In race number 2, our hot dog pick 4, I have it all bet. We both agree that the one horse is a single in race 4, despite the fact that the rail is penalized. So if we can get through to that, hopefully get through the first 3, make a winner. Our prime rib pick 4, where we put together a $100 ticket. Charles is going to start with the all and then try to squeeze his way through in some very competitive deep races in 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to try to squeeze my way through all the way through. And then Charles' best bet today is in race number 4. My best bet is in race number 8. Charles' best long shot is in race number 3, that 8 horse. Mine is in race number 7 with the 9. And Terry's best bet is in race number 9, which is also Charles' second long shot of the day. Excuse me, long shot for Terry. All right. Any other final thoughts in there, Mr. Charles, before we get off today?
No, that's about it.
All right, that is it. If you haven't had a chance to, make sure you check out some of the great shorts and TikTok videos that Jamie's putting together on our TikTok channel. It's the same as what you see on the scroll bar below for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race, the number 2 day. While you're here on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so that when we go live on Monday, Charles and I for Parks, and on Tuesday, Charles and I for Parks. On Wednesday, Terry will come back. On Thursday, Terry and I, and then next Friday will be Shot 10 with Tom and I. A little bit later start date next Friday. We also put our picks up today for Wolverhampton. I think they're still running. So if you're looking to bet some Wolverhampton races, check out what Tom and I had to say yesterday. And I think that wraps it up. And of course, Jamie and Sean will have a fantastic lineup of guests Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Horse Center. Whew, that's a lot of words in a big run-on sentence. All right, Charles, that takes us wire to wire for today. No matter what you're doing, college football, wallowing in your sorrow with the U.S. getting knocked out of the World Cup, watching a little Argentina, maybe Messi later on, watching Michigan clinch the Big Ten and a BCS championship, NFL tomorrow. No matter what you're doing, Charles, we hope until we see you again on Monday, everything you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a fantastic weekend. Look forward to getting back together again.